All right, let's talk about the easy things that you can do within Canva to make your social media content really, really recognizable as your brand without breaking your brain and making you feel like you need to recreate it every single time that you open Canva. So I do this with my own presence as well as with my clients. You may have a brand that you don't necessarily need to use a lot of like graphic elements in it. But if you do, here are 5 steps to making it really easy to avoid the Canva overwhelm and the freakouts that come from being spoiled for choice within Canva. So you'll see here I've got a few different styles of posts, and these are templatized. So when I'm ready to make a new piece of content that's in this style, all I need to do is hit duplicate page and then tweak it to my own needs. I'm gonna do a Canva has a ton of really, really great resources within the app itself, right? These are things that you're seeing a pro version right now. This is my paid account within Canva, but there are so many free things as well. It integrates a really, really nice and huge stock photo, stock video library that you can use for your content, or you can upload your own things. So over here in uploads, I've got stuff from clients, I've got my own stuff, but I love using things that I can pull my own brand elements with. So what does that mean, right? You do not have to be a designer to be good at using Canva and making your brand really, really recognizable on social media. There are 5 things that I do to make templates super repeatable, super recognizable, and super autopilot, right? We don't need to be rethinking the design every single time we go to make social media posts. Step 1, pick your fonts. Pick 2, maybe 3. I have 2. I use Babus New Cyrillic for most of the headers, and then I use Open Sans for body font and smaller like watermarks. Those are over here. You can also upload your own fonts. So I have quite a few that I've uploaded that were either specific for brand projects or ones that I just really, really like that weren't available. With your fonts, if you're paying for Canva Pro and you're uploading things, make sure that you have the legal right to use them in social media posts, or that you have the appropriate licensing. So that's step 1, picking some fonts. Pick them, stick with them. That's it. You don't need to add more every single time. Focus on readable. Remember, people are going to be looking at these on screens, very small. So something really frilly or very light and thin can be difficult to read at small sizes. So making sure that you're thinking about readability. As you can see, readability is my number 1 concern with this content. It's large, it's block, it's sans serif. Both of my fonts are sans serif, which means there's no little feet on the ends of it. But I want to know that for sure people are going to be able to read it when it's a teeny tiny little 1 inch by 1 inch thing on some mini preview screen. Next up, when we're designing in Canva and making things recognizable, pick colors. We could spend hours talking about color theory. Good rule of thumb, 3 to 5. Less if you're spicy. The less colors you have, the better. Almost to a degree. So for me, my brand, you can see, actually, we'll go in here and look at it. You'll see some of my other past clients' color schemes as well. But here, this is my color scheme. And I've just uploaded it and automated it. And it's set here in Canva, and I can just click and change. I use those 3 different greens, this kind of gray beige, and then black and white from all of my social media posts. So we've got this electric green, we've got a darker green, and then a deep, deep, dark, almost black green, as well as black, white, and beige, right? So that's not that many colors, including neutrals, right? Black and white don't technically count for your color palette. I won't tell on you if you're using those as part of your palette and it exceeds 5 colors. The less colors you have and the more your brand focuses on a few specific colors, the easier it is for your followers, your audience, your beautiful, beautiful social media fans to recognize you. Something that I typically try to do is you'll see in these first couple posts, the images, there's not a lot of green in. So I'm using that electric green here in the graphic elements to remind people it's Carolyn, that girl who's obsessed with green. For these stock photos, I try to pick images that have a lot of green in them. They're my brand colors, they're my personal favorite colors just in general. So making sure that my brand is recognizable with those colors is really important. You'll see some old style content that I have here that I don't use these lockups necessarily anymore. But again, heavy on that green, right? If we were to look at this in a grid format, what color is Carolyn's content? It's green, right? It's vastly green. Even if the image isn't, I'm putting a green element on it. This is a format that I use a ton on social media, so I know that when people are seeing this, they know it's me. It's got that iconic Bad Axe green. Same with this one. I use this one a lot. It's got my name in there. We'll take a look at this one closer. It's got my name down here. It's got a search bar. I'm always focused on the answering people's questions and making people ask more questions with my social media content. So that's how kind of the fonts and the colors resonate across multiple designs, right? So you can see how these would be rotated over, and then even just throwing an overlay over an image of one of your products or something like that if you want to push the color even further. So after we've picked our fonts, committed to them, and we're not going to add 80 million more fonts in every single design, and we've picked our colors, committed to them, and we're not going to change colors every single time we design posts, right? Choose 4-ish post styles. Now, Canva has a ton of preloaded templates that can absolutely blow your mind, stress you out, overwhelm you, make you want to cry. I understand this. But when you pick 4-ish that you're going to use for your brand, then you put your brand colors and your brand font on it, I promise you are going to start to feel so much less overwhelmed, especially if you're like, okay, maybe I do need one more template. I have 3 that I'm using along with just a plain photo or plain video. I have 3 that I use. I need to add one that fits this need. You can kind of start looking through the templates on Canva and feel like, okay, I know that this type of post would work really well with my chosen fonts and colors. Or, oh, that one really is only going to look good in the colors it's preset with on the template, so I'm going to pass. You're going to start thinking about things in terms of your own brand imaging and what is going to work really well for it. So let's play a game. We are going to make a fake brand really quick here as a demo in this YouTube video, and we are going to pick the fonts, pick the colors, and make 4-ish post styles, and then customize them as needed, which is step 4, and have them ready for step 5, which is downloading, scheduling, and posting to social media. That's the fun part. We're not even going to really go into that in that much depth, but prepping your stuff so that it's ready for that makes your life so much easier, and it's all doable here within Canva. So we are going to be making content for the brand clothing store. This is something I just made up. Over here in this panel, you can click on design, and I've preset, this is an Instagram post, so it's the square size for Instagram, so it's 1080 by 1080 pixels. These templates are already scaled for that. So I'm going to start just pulling some styles that I think the brand would like. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to add a mix of videos and static images. The brand is a nostalgic 90s company. So we need some of that 90s vibes, right? Oh yes, this is great. Going well. And already some of these templates kind of have a little bit of a matching vibe. So I want to show how you can take something that's a little bit different and make it still functional. Let's do this one. Okay, cool. Right, so this one is definitely very different than the brand and focused on something completely different. So we are going to start here. That is Anton. Then we're going to change this. So we're going to commit to these fonts. Anton for the main, Roboto for the underlaying, and then various versions of Roboto for like the body font. So Anton and Roboto. The nice thing about this is when you swap stuff, occasionally it will ask you if you want to change all of them. It's not asking me. There we go. Change all Open Sans to Roboto. Yes, change all. So that has changed across my whole design. So that's super easy, right? So this doesn't necessarily fit, right? We've got different colors. We've got kind of a different vibe in general. We're also going to change all these colors to match the first one. I'm cheating a little bit. We're going to use that existing vibe and style on the first post to inform the rest of them. Okay, so that's their Instagram handle. The brand shop. Now over here in Elements, we want jeans. So we'll go to the stock photos. Yes, that is excellent. Move these little sparkles around a little. Never enough denim. That sounds like something the brand would say, right? So I'm just playing around with sizing here and making sure things are gonna kind of fit in with what their fonts and colors and general vibe are. Now this is a little unreadable, so let's make it less and also put the overlay for white. That's much better. Perfect. Okay. Now, swapping this font. And the color. And change all. Yes. Oops. No. We want. There we go. Sweet. Nice. All right. So we're just cruising right along, right? So you can see how some of these, as you're looking at them, you're like, oh yeah, I know whose content this is. Now this one, we've picked a template that is very different than the other templates. So to start, I'm going to make sure that the background matches that first one. So that's a very minor color swap. And we're going to switch this to Anton. And then we're going to make it all caps. And then we are going to do this. Not that homelessness isn't an important topic to talk about. It is just not what the brand is talking about today. Okay, and color, go to that blue. Yes, right. So we've got a split image here. We're gonna want to try and either decide if we want to do the ripped thing. Maybe we do denim and then, ooh, let's find some sneaker laces that look cool. These are good. It's kind of a contrast with shoes, and then homelessness can affect anyone, but we're getting there. I'm cool. All right, there we go. So now we have built out 4 posts that are all cohesive because of the colors and the fonts. And that did not take long, right? We're only at 16 minutes for this whole recording. So you can see how quickly, once you make those decisions of picking the fonts and picking the colors, you are going to be able to then design these 4 basic templates that you can use for your brand. Now let's see how quickly we can remix a few of them and put other images in, make it kind of unique, but using the same template. All right, we don't want that anymore, but we do want shoes. Oh, that's a little too pink. Oh, no, I'm gonna overthink all of this. It's getting unhinged, guys. Let's duplicate this one too. And quickly swap out what's going on here. Oh, cool. All right. Let's make a stack O jeans. Oh, that's... We're using our plastic overlay still. And then sometimes you might need to switch out colors. And that is really unreadable down there. So in this case, I would probably choose a different photo. Something like this maybe? There. Slightly better. You can also do some text effects here to make it a little bit more readable. Still not ideal. I would definitely play with this a little more, but you can get the vibe. You see what we're going for. So that's how quickly you can take Canva templates and make them specific to your own brand without a whole lot of fuss and a whole lot of overwhelm. Just pick your general vibe, pick some fonts, pick some colors, commit to those things, pick 4-ish styles and just riff and repeat on those different styles for templates for posts, always knowing that you can add in just a basic image post too. And see how cool it all looks together, right? We love it. We love the brand. We all want to shop there and get our denim and shoes, right? So next up, all you need to do is to download this content and then upload it into the scheduler of your choice. I use Later. That's obviously a subject of a whole separate video, but downloading stuff in the format that it needs to be in for the post type that it's going to be is important. So for this one, we have video elements on number 2. So I would download this as a video file and then everything else as an image file, a PNG file. And then you're good to go. You've made some really cohesive matching content. I would love to hear if you use Canva to make templates for your social media posts. If you do, drop a comment. If you're just jazzed and amped about it now after hanging out with me and doing some random design work here, drop me a comment too. I want to see what you create. And until next time, stay badass.